Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here with Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below and drop me a comment, I'd appreciate it. Let's get over to a full body workout. Fantastic workout. Pretty much everything improved other than the bench, which again means I need to adjust something. Because if my general strength is going up across the board and the bench is still the same, it means something is lacking there. All right, high bar squats. Got decent depth on these today. They felt really comfortable, right? They felt really comfortable. I know based upon this front view here, these are probably going to be right at depth. And again, high bar versus low bar, you guys always see the difference, the carryover. But they felt really good. I got 405 for 8. I possibly could have gone further with this. I feel like I'm getting close to 10 reps on this at this point, because the 8 wasn't too bad, right? The 8 wasn't too bad. It wasn't real grindy. It felt hard though on that last rep, but 405 for 8, I'll take it. The benching, the 315 for 5, this was going to be my barometer today, because I'm like, look, I've PR'd my triceps every workout recently. And in fact, I haven't even lost reps on the last couple ones. I hit 2 lifetime PRs in the last week on my tricep extensions. So at this point, my bench should be going up. I've assessed that tricep strength, and my triceps on the extensions are noticeably stronger since I reached this 315 for 5. Now, this 315 for 5 wasn't super grindy, but I absolutely did not have a 6 rep. Okay, the first 3 reps felt really good. I knew I'd get 5. 4th rep started to get hard, and the 5th rep was definitely grindy, right? So what does that tell us? It's not necessarily my triceps. So I'm going to go back to doing dips. I'm like, let's PR dips, because dips, every time I push the dips up, I do get that extra rep each time, right? We've been PRing the bench, and then it feeds my tricep extension. So in this case, I've been saying, hey, I feel like my triceps are the limit. They really aren't. Now, my triceps felt a lot of activation today, but it's also, is it because they're the stronger muscle, right? Because my tricep strength is the highest it's been anytime I remember in quite a few years, definitely. 135 for 12 on a laying extension. Keep in mind, start of the year, and I was only benching 315 for about 3. It was only 110 for 10. Okay? That's a substantial increase. Deadlifts, 500 for 7, by the way. I don't want to skip that over. People be like, what? 500 for 7, which was good. I didn't feel like I had an 8th rep, though. Honestly, that 7th was tough. 8th rep would have been really grindy. All right, so the belt squats, because I feel like this is feeding the squat and the deadlift really well. I went a little deeper on most of these today, tried to really focus on that. I bumped it up just so that I don't have to use the small plates. I'm like, look, I got 300 for 10. Let's just put that extra plate on it. It's 315 on as far as weights added to the machine. I managed to get 10 reps. All of them were below parallel. All right, some of them were deeper than others. I did a little rest, pausing right there at the end, and right there, that's it. I had to push up on those handles. That was everything I had. Even with a little short break, a breather, everything that I had. But I'm overall pretty happy with the depth, pretty happy with that. The reverse hypers, I lost count. I don't know if I got like 55, 65, who knows. I completely lost count. But again, the same thing here. I feel like this is helping. And the reason I say that, I almost feel like it doesn't matter on my deadlift anymore. My low back and posterior chain is just strong. I don't feel like they're limiting my deadlift. My deadlift is mostly just grip and quads at this point. But notice what happens now that those are improving with the other work. All of a sudden, the deadlift's climbing back up. 500 for 7, I don't know. I feel like I probably could pull 600 if I absolutely had to, as long as I can grip it, right? Not sure. I don't even care at the moment, though. I'm working on getting some of that stuff to 10 and just kind of see what happens. But the reverse hypers, you guys know why we do these. I feel like when I've been doing them again lately, I feel a bunch of stuff crackle and pop into place in my low back and hips. So I'm like, I'll keep doing them. I like them as a prehab exercise, but it is at the point where I can't get enough weight on here to really get, everything that I'd like, but I don't care. I don't mind. I'm just swinging it. I'm just doing super, super high reps. And just letting it swing forward. And that's the thing that pulls and makes everything crackle, pop, feel good. Since I'm doing the hanging leg raises, I'm hitting PRs on the toe bars now too. as you guys are seeing on some of the off days I'm coming in and doing that. We're in a good place there. So I feel like keeping the volumes low and just going really hard. And you guys are going to see some rest pause. You guys will see it straight up. Everything else is to failure, rest pause after this. All right, that was kind of a little bit of semi-rest pause on that belt squat. Okay. So then we're just going to do the 1 set per exercise and just take the intensity way up. All right, so we PR'd the pull-ups. I'm doing them really close for a reason. I can get higher up with the close grip. So I can never touch my chin to a bar, even with a lat pull down. So for anyone who's like, oh, I can't do it. Even with a lat pull down, I can't do it. But the wider my grip, the more the range of motion is limited. So with these, I can get a little higher. And because I want my arms to go up, I want my pull-ups and stuff to carry over to my biceps. I also, because I tend to use that closed grip when I overhead press, if I one day do hope to ever get the overhead press, I'm hoping this will eventually get me there. I'm just going to have to let stuff heal. But notice we did a rest pause. I got 10 reps, and then I rested, got an 11th. So then I'm like, okay, dips. But with the dips, I just took these to complete failure. I didn't rest pause it, but I was doing 45 last time, so the dips are strong. I'm like, let's put a 55 on and let's go through my fullest possible range of motion. So we're getting really, really deep on these. I'm going for that stretch. I'm even pausing slightly at the bottom on some of the reps, just a brief pause, just so that I know that I reached my full stretch. I managed to get 10 reps. I didn't think I was going to get the 10th. Right, the 10th, it was grindy because the 9th was hard. And then I got to the 10th rep and I managed to grind it out, and then I stuck at the bottom and just failed. Right, that's it. We hit failure. I just couldn't get out of the bottom again. So we reached muscle failure, and happy with that though. 55 for 10 for full range of motion. Laterals, I bumped the weight a little bit and did the same thing. I'm like, let's just take them all the way till they just burn and I can't do anymore, and let's just rest pause. Do a couple more reps. I lost count of the reps. I don't care. I don't really feel like counting them at this point. I just took it to failure. Right? Let's go heavier. Let's chase tension. Let's just do the 1 set. I don't even want to do the multiple sets. Let's come in and do just one. It should be enough. Right? Keep in mind, we do dips, benching, those pull-ups that you're going to work the shoulders. And I feel more bicep when I go really close, by the way. So when people say this stuff about going higher, it doesn't do anything for my lats. I don't feel my lats at all. On the top half of a pull-up, my lats feel like they just completely disengage and just kind of go to sleep. They're just kind of along for the ride. They feel like they do all the work out of the bottom. And I have big lats, and no surprise. So kind of just rest pause those until I just hit failure. Taking a couple seconds between reps, and then I just reached failure. And then I decided, look, I feel like my biceps do need some attention, but I want to take the same approach I do with my legs, which is really low volume, go really, really hard. So I'm like, what's going to put me into that lengthened position? Because all these experts do claim, and science-based people do claim, the lengthened position particularly matters on the biceps. So I'm going to give that a try and take this same approach of everyone says, again, why don't you train your arms like you do your legs, which I've started to do. And if that's true, then I just train them like my legs, because everyone says that wrong. They think it's that I don't curl or that I don't do a bunch of bodybuilding work, and I have. But in this case, we take something really hard and then we just do very limited volume, but push super hard progressive overload. And so that's what I did. I took these to failure, and then I rest paused it. And to rest pause, I dropped it all the way back down in. We took everything to a brief pause at the bottom. So it's like I wanted to really emphasize that lengthened position stretch, failure, and then we did rest pause reps. So again, these are super hard. Same thing, I hit failure. So I did 1 rep and it failed. I couldn't get a second rep. So I'm like, let's rest a couple seconds. Let's do the same thing again. Take 1 rep again from that dead stop at the bottom, come all the way up. I can barely lift it. I'm struggling with it. Lower it, and then we're done. My biceps were torched, so I hope it's been informative. I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.